Gorilla Monsoon.
And your host, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Hello again, and welcome everybody once again to Prime Time Wrestling. You're not the host, Bobby.
I am the host. You were the co-host this week. I told you I had a surprise last week.
You got a strong union or something? What is it with you?
I got a
This is
strong
the
union.
surprise?
I can prove I'm the host of the show.
Go ahead, prove it.
Okay, if they have a director back there, one of those guys that dropped
We
out
have
of
a
school.
director, yes.
Okay, could he run that? Wait a minute. This is Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura. My name is supposed to be up there.
Does it say Weasel
No,
there
it
anywhere?
doesn't say Weasel. It doesn't say Heen. It doesn't say nothing. Why can't they put my name up? There's some conspiracy out here. Everybody's jealous of me. Are you scared I'm going to take over USA television?
You're just
Are
a
you scared?
guest. You're a guest.
I'm not. I am the host of this show. You're the co-host. I'm going to get back there on a break here and shake those directors up a little bit.
Plenty of action, as always, here this week
hit
on
him so hard his
Prime
ears will touch his
Wrestling.
shoulders.
We're going to take a look at Mr. Muraco in action, and of course our feature, Big John Studd, your man, the man who can't be slammed, against probably the man who can slam him.
I'm aware of all that. Being the host, I'm up on these things.
Who's his opponent?
Ted Arcidi.
World's
the
strongest man.
Strongest man.
Not
Okay.
shortest,
He's
strongest.
Close. The guy can do 250 sit-ups underneath a Chevy.
We have a tremendous prime time extra in which the British Bulldogs are going to take on the Hart Foundation. That in itself, main event anywhere, any arena in the entire wrestling world.
That's correct.
Okay, being very limited. And
being a host, you don't have to do much.
How about our Psycho friend is going to make an appearance this week? You want to enlighten the fans about him?
Psycho Capone.
Yes.
Right, they should put him in a safe and see if he shows up in 50
Let's
years.
go down to ringside in Boston Gardens.
Wrong
The Magnificent
Capone.
One taking on the Golden Boy.
This match is one fall with a 45-minute time limit. First, I'd like to introduce the manager, Mr. Fuji. And he represents from Sunset Beach, Hawaii, weighing 268 pounds, the magnificent Muraco. His opponent from Tampa, Florida, weighing 278 pounds, the Golden Boy, Dan Spivey.
Spivey looking absolutely fantastic. He's making improvements every week almost. He's a big, tall youngster with a lot of ambition, a lot of drive, and obviously in these days of very big payments, a lot of incentive. So I'm looking forward to seeing Spivey take on Muraco. Muraco, as everybody knows, can challenge anybody, anytime, is always the #1 logical contender for any title you care to mention. So this is a big, big night for Dan Spivey.
Words of wisdom from the mouth of Lord Alfred Hayes. Gorilla Monsoon here at ringside in the Boston Garden. Tremendous matchup, the Magnificent One in there with a youngster, the Golden Boy, Danny Spivey.
I was reading the record of Muraco recently, and I see that in 1985, he put more wrestlers into hospital than any other wrestler in the World Wrestling Federation.
That is a fact.
Yes, it's
That is in fact a fact.
Yes, it's not an enviable record, but it's certainly a deadly one, and one that Spivey should keep in mind and try and not use some of those, as you call them, high-risk moves, Gorilla.
Look at this, a hand extended in a token of friendship by a snake.
We know he doesn't mean it. Look at Mr. Fuji outside telling him, go ahead, Spivey, shake. Probably not with that accent.
Spivey, some 6'7", close to that 300-pound mark. I'm sure he'll give Muraco all he wants.
He's a magnificent-looking young man, and he is a fine, fine athlete. But does he have that little killer instinct that champions are made of?
Well, unfortunately, there's no substitution for experience, Alfred, as you well know, and I well know. And Muraco can go to the well and draw on that at any given time and put you away with it.
Yes, he can. I remember when I first saw Muraco, which was down in Florida a few years back, quite a few years back, about 6 or 7 years ago, and I thought to myself at that time, this man is a tremendous prospect for the World Heavyweight Championship. He hasn't quite achieved that pinnacle, but he's so close to it.
Well, he's held many titles over the years. I think his biggest claim to fame was beating Pedro Morales in Madison Square Garden for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship.
What a feat that was, right on his home turf, so as to speak. It may not have been in San Juan.
Oh, look at this. One of Fuji's brain-busting techniques. The concentration going on here. Muraco recently returning from the beaches of Hawaii, his home. And the chant goes out, beach bum, and he doesn't like it.
And it came just at the right time because Muraco was trying to psych out Spivey and the crowd got to him before he could accomplish that fact.
Muraco taking a nice time out for himself and tries to get back into the ring, and now Spivey doesn't want to let him back in. Going to work on a magnificent one. The Golden Boy picks him up. Whoa! Show me some power. And he does. Muraco wishing he was back on the beach right now.
Well, he certainly knows that he's picked on a dangerous opponent, and that Spivey, being a youngster, is not going to let Muraco do what he wants to or what he thinks he can do with it.
Some of the international cameramen at ringside taking their lives literally in their hands.
Yes, I think so.
Because Muraco will go after anyone.
Yes, he's not afraid of man or beast.
He's not prejudiced in that way. He'll attack anyone. He doesn't care who it is.
No, he doesn't. You're absolutely right.
Including you and I, Alfred.
Yes, he's taken one or two swipes at me, but I've been quite quick. I've run.
Side headlock now by the Magnificent One. Spivey doesn't want to stay in this too long, I'm sure. There he goes. He's going to get rid of him. In for the ride. Down quickly in front, over the top. Nice leapfrog by the Golden Boy. And another drop down in front. He's got Muraco rocking and reeling here. Finally ends up with a scoop slam. And dumps the big guy. Not going according to Mr. Fuji's plan.
Not at all, and Spivey is definitely impressing me. Mr. Fuji is not so impassive as you might think. I see quite a look of concern upon his oriental face. In fact, he's waving his stick and he's trying to bring the referee's attention to something that hadn't happened, and now it has.
There again, a little bit of hesitation on the part of the Golden Boy, Danny Spivey. Could cost him later on in the match.
Yes. You know, it takes years to get that hardened edge where you don't stop for anything at all, and I'm afraid that young wrestlers, they're just a little bit too chivalrous, could you say, in a way?
Well, they're thinking about the glory days of when they were in college, Alfred.
Yes.
You know, and the time for the glory is over.
It's over here. You're in the professional ranks, and
Uh-oh.
absolutely everything goes right now.
Right into the barricade, and it topples over, and so does the Golden Boy.
And he's down and hurt.
Muraco up to his old tricks once again. Can't give him an inch because he'll take a
No,
yard.
look at that huge bruise on the back of Spivey's arm there. Look at Muraco. He doesn't let up. That is the thing. He
Let's
doesn't.
do another one. He's rearranging the complete ringside here in the Boston Garden. The Magnificent One causing mayhem at the expense of the Golden Boy, Danny Spivey.
And he's certainly given Spivey a lot to think about, plus a lot of pain and a lot of agony. Now what is going through Spivey's mind is, should I get back in the ring or not?
Oh, rams him right into the ring apron head first. Both men out on the floor.
Look at that. Applaud Spivey. At least he's attempting to get back into the ring.
Muraco now going to the top. Just like a cat that's close to 300 pounds. He went up there like it was nothing. And feeling the wrath of the Magnificent One, the youngster, the Golden Boy, Danny Spivey. But don't sell this youngster short. He's not done by a long shot. Of course, things not going too well for him right at this particular point in time. But this one a long way from being over.
It is if Spivey can shake the
Watch
cobwebs.
out.
Uh-oh. Muraco does not let up. Look at that.
Imagine the strength it takes to get a guy that's 6'7", 6'8", up in that.
Balance, the leverage, all that is necessary, and yet Muraco did that and made it look fairly easy.
Couldn't get the 3 count. Doesn't seem to be too upset about it.
No.
Look, he's waiting with a spike.
He's waiting to spike him.
Oh, there's that Asian spike right in the back of the head of young Danny Spivey. I don't like his chances right now, Alfred.
No, I don't. I'm afraid that when he did have a chance a little while ago, he didn't make or take full advantage of it, and now he's really paying for that. But I tell you something, I have seen Spivey before many times, and he's a resilient youngster, and he has youth on his side, and that makes you sometimes a little stronger than you possibly could be. Look at those.
Southpaw unloading now, the Golden Boy with lefts. About 7 of them in a row, and he's got the big guy rocking and reeling. Well, here's another hesitation. There's that inexperience again.
Yes.
Finally does come in and continues to explode on a magnificent Muraco. Head first, rammed into the top turnbuckle. Fuji hasn't moved 1 inch since this match started.
No,
it just moved just now.
Oh!
Clothesline, now for the cover. What an upset this could be. Hooks the leg, 2 count, no.
Good move, and the very first effective move that Spivey's made, because all those right-handers a little while ago didn't seem to
Drop
hurt
kick,
him.
Muraco, right out over the top, and down goes Nelson.
And now the Swaggler's down. Swaggler's out, I think, is he? Or
He may be out of it. No, he's back on his feet, and so is
Swaggler's
Muraco.
back in his chair. Muraco's on the side of the ring. And whatever Spivey did, he had 2 birds with 1 stone.
Look at this.
Oh.
Muraco trying to suplex him to the outside concrete, but no, he can't get the leverage. And now it's Spivey who hooks the Oh, Muraco caught him in a cradle. It's all over.
And that is what makes Muraco such a fine wrestler. Just look at that. Wow.
He got a handful of tights in there as well, Alfred.
Well, he did, but even so, he took full advantage of 1 tiny little lapse.
Let's get the official
Who would have
word.
thought that?
The winner of this match, the magnificent Muraco.
Let's take a look and see if we can go back far enough to see Nelson heading for higher ground. No, that's already gone down. Right now he's back in his seat, but look at this move as Muraco tries to suplex him out onto the concrete, and Spivey turns the tables, but watch the momentum here. Muraco reaching back. You can't, there it is right there, Alfred.
Yes, but
full
look
of
at that
tights.
nice move where he locked both legs.
Well, he cradled him right up there, and the referee was right in the position to see the handful of tights, but obviously was looking down at the shoulders. Another victory, one of the thousands in the book for that man. Right there, the magnificent one. Don't go away.
Wow, using all that ring savvy, and he had to use every bit of it to get by the Golden Boy.
Find out for me, will you?
Find out what?
No. I'm trying to find the condition on Nelson Swaggler.
He took
I
one of the
understand
worst falls of anybody involved in that whole match.
He's still out. He's still out.
No, he's not still out. He's fine, but he was certainly surprised when Muraco came flying over that top
Doesn't
rope.
surprise me.
Why not?
Muraco's a competitor. He's a veteran. He's a skilled athlete. Spivey relies on being known as the Golden Boy.
Well,
if you
that's-
pattern your life after Arnold Skolin, I mean, how good a
That's not
competitor
exactly
can you
true,
be?
Bobby. Danny Spivey has a tremendous career still ahead of him. He has nothing to be ashamed about losing to a guy like Muraco.
Not a thing. I
Absolutely not.
Hope he feels
and
that way.
Muraco didn't do anything devious in obtaining that victory. Simply a beautiful maneuver on his part as he hooked him nicely in that double cradle and put him away. Well, we're back, wrestling fans, and we're going to take a look at the guy from down under, Auckland, New Zealand, Tony Garea, in the Boston Gardens, one of his favorite spots, in there with Mr. X, who's been making some rumbles here in the World Wrestling Federation. Let's go down to ringside right now.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What do you mean, wait a minute?
Let me show you some. See, he doesn't even know. He hasn't done his homework. The match is joined in progress. Let's get it right.
You're absolutely right.
Who's the host?
Even a blind hog will find an acorn. Let's
Turn
go to
around, co-host.
ringside right now.
See, told you.
Right in the lower abdomen area.
Took one to the lower ribs there, and that really hurts.
Referee doing a good job to stay out of the way of the action. That's, I thought that was how you got your mark over your eye. One of those knee drops.
No.
Down for the cover, hooks the leg, but Tony's got that left arm out of there. Reverse chin lock now by Mr. X.
Mr. X is going to wear him down if he can't knock him down. Actually, he made some nice attacks to the upper body there, and he varied his attack between the lower rib section and the head. That knee to the temple obviously stunned Tony, and now he's sitting there trying to think his way out of this.
Well, as always, plenty of action and excitement here in the World Wrestling Federation when the superstars of that organization invade any arena. And this one in particular, this is a hotbed of Mecca. Boy, there's some real fans here, Alfred.
There really is. You know, we have one of the wrestlers who come from this town, Boston, and he is beginning to make great strides in quite a short time, and I believe we're going to see him later on in the program.
Ted Arcidi, world's strongest human being with a bench press record, 705.5 pounds.
What waves he's making.
He's a handful, to say the least.
Yeah. Talking about waves, if he dived into a jacuzzi, do you think there'd be any water left?
Absolutely not. There might not even be a jacuzzi left. Still holding on to the reverse chin lock, Mr. X. Parts unknown. Garea with an elbow and a second one, but a handful of tights by Mr. X. Takes it back down to the canvas.
And Mr. X showing a little bit of tenacity there, held on. 2 elbows, very hard elbows to the stomach, but he's still managing to hold on, and he seems to be in full control of this belt now, so we may be headed for a victory for Mr. X.
I meant to ask you, Your Lordship, how did you get along with Elvira out in Los Angeles as part of WrestleMania 2?
Well, if I said she was interesting, that would be a fib, would it not?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
And if I said that I asked her for a date, that wouldn't be a fib, would it?
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't put that past you.
Well, I did, and she said no.
She said no.
Quite
Rejection.
frankly.
Rejection. Unbelievable rejection.
And mind you, she had several bodyguards with her, you know.
Was she abreast as to what the world of professional wrestling is all about? Well, why are you laughing?
She had 1 or 2 points in her favor, I can tell you.
I mean, did she know the holes? Did she know the wrestlers? Was she aware of what was going on?
Quite honestly, she amazed me with her knowledge of wrestling.
That's what I was trying to get at.
And she said she had a relation, I'm not quite sure what it was, who was a high school wrestler, and as a girl she'd been to support the wrestling club out there in California, and she did know a thing or two about wrestling.
Good.
Although Jesse didn't let her speak to him.
Highly unlikely that the body would let her get too many words in edgewise. Still holding on to this side headlock, Mr. X. Tony sticks a handful of tights in there to get rid of him. Shoulder block, sends Garea down.
Nice one, too.
Well, that was a little bit of slow motion there. Nice high hip lock. Elbow drop, nobody home.
Wow.
That's how you end up with electron bursitis right there, that particular move.
You know, Gorilla, you were asking me about Elvira. How did you make out with Kathy Lee Crosby?
Kathy Lee Crosby is a very lovely lady.
Isn't she?
Yes. Unfortunately, she got so wrapped up in the matches and the wrestlers themselves that it was hard dragging any words out of her at times. But boy, she really got into it.
She did.
It was a fun time with her, and I enjoyed it very much.
She looked so nice in that astronaut-type suit she had on.
She was colorful, to say the least.
She was, wasn't she? A picture of beauty in
Tremendous
silver.
athlete herself.
Yes, so I understand. But you had Oakers there. How was Oakers? Did he control himself?
Oh, yes. I was between the both of them. I thought that was the most advantageous way to handle that situation. Garea still on the receiving end from Mr. X. I think Tony missed his opportunity early on in this match when he could have put away Mr. X and didn't.
I think you're right about that. And now he's paying for that, and he's suffering into the bargain. A heavy, high slam. And look out.
Too far. Oh, dropped that leg nicely right across the throat. Down for the cover. Hooks the leg. Look at that right arm is out of there.
Yes.
Not going to be.
Well, Tony Garea entered the ring with some very impressive credentials, 5 times co-holder of the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship, yet appearing to me that he's having a tough time with Mr. X, who is certainly making some waves here in the World Wrestling Federation. We'll be back with the conclusion. Don't go away. Bobby the Brain, you're generally in and out of these locker rooms in all these arenas, making a pest of yourself most of the time. You have an idea who Mr. X is? You see
Yeah,
him?
I do. I
Without
think yes, I think he's one of the 3 girls from Australia that won that perfect match last
Let's
week.
go back to ringside.
Beat Garea that way.
No, Garea still in control of his senses if he's not in control completely of his physical capabilities.
Mr. X in no danger of being pinned there.
No.
Of course, some tremendous ramifications came out of WrestleMania 2. The British Bulldogs capturing the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship belts.
I look upon that as an upset, quite honestly, because I thought Beefcake and Valentine were going to hold that championship for years. They were like the Rock of Gibraltar.
Well, everyone said 2 referees is going to make a big difference. In a way it did, but it in no way had anything to do with the outcome of the match.
No, I don't think so, although Johnny Valiant has said that what with Ozzy Osbourne, 2 referees, Lou Albano, what chance did they have?
Well, what did they expect Ozzy Osbourne to do?
He was a distraction. That's
It
what
was a
Valiant
distraction.
said. Valiant said he had nothing. He would never distract an opposing team.
A fountain of misinformation. Bless his John. Handful of hair by Mr. X. Keeps him in that hole. Referee looked right at him. Why don't you break the hold, ref? Give me a break.
That's true. X has controlled the last 5 minutes of this contest. I'm afraid as time goes by, the chances are becoming smaller and smaller for Tony. In fact, no strength or steam behind those at all. I think Tony's physically exhausted.
Garea down, but quickly back to his feet. Oh, leapfrog. You have enough left to do that. Oh, look at that. You don't expect that kind of a mistake from a ring veteran like Tony Garea.
He was down there about a second too soon, and there
Put
was
his head down.
Yes, and X saw that all the way off the ropes.
Well, Mr. X is not going to run out of gas. 1 count, 2 count, no. Close, but no cigar.
And now Tony's mouth is wide open, and that is a sign of fatigue as well.
The tank is nearing the E mark.
I'm afraid it
E
is.
doesn't mean enough. It means empty.
Sometimes they can get their second wind after a long time, but that should have come back to Tony sometime
I never found that, Lord. In all the years I was right, I never got any second wind. When my first one was gone, that was it.
I think that's what happened to me as well. That's why I lost so many matches.
I always tried to put somebody away as quick as possible. They don't pay by the minute, you know.
No, as a matter of fact, you were successful at that too. I've been through the archives a few times and seen some of your films.
Well, I had 2 dubious distinctions up till a year ago here in the World Wrestling Federation. I had the record for the shortest match, which was 7 seconds in Madison Square Garden. And the longest match was 1 hour and 32 minutes without a fall with Bruno Sammartino.
Now, surely you got a second win there.
Well,
Third, fourth, too.
actually, I got so dry in that match, Lord, I was actually licking the sweat off Sammartino's body to get some saliva in my mouth.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. And of course,
Sammartino thought I'd come out of the closet or something. I don't know what.
I would think so if you were doing that. He is a bundle of energy still.
Oh, no one home. That brought a big ooh out of this crowd here in the Boston Garden.
As you said a little while ago, and I hate to pick up on that, but Tony is showing one or 2 signs of...
Oh, look at this. Oh, nice maneuver. He looked like leaping Lanny Poffo.
Yes. And he got additional spring from the middle of the ropes there. Up he goes.
That's the big roundhouse. Atomic drop, dead into the corner. X is in trouble. X is right for the picket right now.
And I don't think Tony will let him go this time if he can manage it.
Garea with a big arm with X hard in the corner. Here comes Tony again. Well, that's twice that didn't work for him. The first time X got out of the way. The second time X brought that knee up just at precisely the right moment. And Tony caught it once more.
This has been going hammer and tongs this battle. One time I thought...
slingshot into the top turnbuckle. X not too sure where he is right now.
I think the pendulum has swung again in favor of Tony this time, and let's see if he can merit from this. Or profit from it, I should say.
Drop kick caught him right in the sternum. And that one was a little bit lower, but I don't think he'll attempt another one. Oh, reverse sunset roll up. He got him.
Wow. Good victory for Tony. And X excellent victory, a hard-fought-for one, and as you say, I think he should have put it away in that first 5 or 6 minutes.
Tony is sucking for air right now as this match went longer than he wanted it to go. Let's get the official word.
Here is your winner, Tony Garea.
Tony Garea chalking up another win here in the World Wrestling Federation. Let's go back and take a look, Alfred. Call this nice reverse sunset for me.
Yes. Well, there you see that second drop kick was very successful, dragged him off the top rope. X didn't have the power to cling on, put his shoulders down, and it was academic after that.
Garea on to victory. Don't go away, wrestling fans. Plenty of action still to come. We'll be right back.
Wow, what a hard-fought victory for Tony Garea.
Talk about being out of gas. He was looking for the shell instrument during instructions.
Well,
I suggest he retires. Maybe he can hang around back and park cars.
you think so, huh? Well, I think Tony Garea has a long way to go yet in the world of professional wrestling. You're always anxious to get everybody into retirement, except me, who you want to get out of retirement.
You know better than to come out of retirement.
I would have a good time with a couple of your proteges, King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd.
Sure, you probably like hospital food.
Yeah, well, they'll have to wait a long time, Bobby, I'm afraid.
Well, first of all, you've already been thrown off your pedestal as host. How do you like that?
Not true. An untruth. Another untruth from the fountain of misinformation.
No.
Bobby the Brain Heenan. Plenty of action still to come here. Incidentally, that Prime Time Extra, which everyone's looking forward to, the British Bulldogs against the Hart Foundation, coming up. But right now, a special interview with my friend Ken Resnick, along with the former champions, Valentine and Beefcake. Let's take a look.
Thank you again, Gorilla Monsoon. Ladies and gentlemen, certainly the list of challengers to the championship currently held by the British Bulldogs goes on and on. But perhaps they consider themselves to be the #1 contenders. Of course, the former tag team champions, Brutus Beefcake and Greg the Hammer Valentine, under the guidance of luscious Johnny Valiant.
You know, I don't like the way you say former. You know, when you think of things that are former, you're thinking of former wives, you're thinking of former employers, you're thinking of former likes and dislikes. But let me shut up. Let me tell you something right now. You're looking at two boys here right now that are more dangerous than they have ever been. Beefcake is so infuriated, and Greg the Hammer Valentine is so infuriated, and luscious Johnny Valiant, I've seen better days somewhat myself. Because let me tell you something right now. We have a mission. We have a mission. We find ourselves looking over our shoulders. Yes, we find ourselves now being the #1 challengers. But it's only going to be a very short time when those belts come back on Valentine's waist and Beefcake's waist. And you mark in your calendar, baby, no matter wherever you see these two, you're going to see them again as champions. Yes, sir. Tell them, Beefcake. Come on.
I just say, if you should be thanking anybody, you should be thanking us for getting out here and taking our time to talk to you idiots out there. But it's not too hard to get the point across, you see, because the Bulldogs, man, they're kind of dumb. They like running into cars and stuff with their heads, smashing into bumpers and stuff. That's what they get off on, man. But that's real easy to take care of, man, because we're just got the hammer right here, man. It's just like a truck.
You know, Beefer, there's been a lot of talk about the Dream Team splitting up because we lost the belts, but I want to tell you something, Mr. TV announcer. The Dream Team is closer than ever right now. Closer than ever, and meaner than ever, and tougher than ever, and ready in any arena question.
They are indeed the Dream Team. Stay with us, fans. We'll be right back.
We're back, wrestling fans. Bobby, it's so important, and you should know this better than anyone being a manager, that it's always extremely important how you prepare for a match. Now, Leapy Lanny Poffo got tremendous experience and tremendous record. How do you prepare for a guy who's called Psycho Capone?
Well, you go out and you get yourself about 3 bottles of cheap wine, and you lay in a doorway for about 3 hours. That's what you do.
Let's go to ringside right now in
That's the same way you
Boston
get prepared
Garden.
for a match
Take a
with,
look at
Leaping
the
Lanny.
Psycho.
He's got a reverse chin lock using the leg.
Yes, I've never seen a move like that. And look at that, just pushes him aside with disdain.
Neither has Capone. Incidentally, did you see in the news where they opened up that old vault of Capone's not too long ago on national television, and they expected to find all kinds of things in there, including remains and nothing. They found nothing.
Nothing. And I think that's what's in this young man's head, quite honestly, because Lanny Poffo just kicked him in the back of the head, then I swear I heard a bell ring. I think he heard a bell ring too.
Very unorthodox style, if you can call it that. Reversal of the arm wringer.
Have you seen this Capone before?
No, and I don't believe I'll be seeing him again.
I don't think so, no.
Punishing move here by leaping. He's got that foot rammed right into the chin.
He showed us two things there, Poffo. Great dexterity, but he showed good balance too. On just one leg, he stood there. That was excellent, quite honestly.
I'll tell you something, Lanny's having a good time.
That's what he's doing.
You know,
he's enjoying himself.
I'm envious right now.
Yes. If we can get a look at Lanny's face, we'll probably see that a little smile there.
Backdrop. The Psycho case caught leaping coming in. Well, that's his own name, Psycho Capone.
Yes, that's true. Look at Lanny now.
Oh.
I wish the camera would get closer to his face because I'm sure he's smiling. In fact, look at him, look.
He's got that chicken wing applied very snugly and at the same time pulling that arm and shoulder out of its socket. Of course, it's
popping his shoulder and everything there. I would imagine the Psycho one doesn't feel so good right now. Probably wondering why on earth he chose this profession.
Well, you got to give credit where credit is due, Alfred. You know, it takes a lot of guts to come out there and sign a contract when you're a youngster here in the World Wrestling Federation against a seasoned veteran like Lanny Poffo.
That's true.
And you know 9 out of 10 times you're going to go in there and take your lumps, as he's taking right now with his front face lock.
Yes, he is
but,
indeed.
you know, we've all taken our lumps. Some of us are still taking them.
Looking at my eye again, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, just a little right-hander. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Yeah, this is cruelty to Psychos.
Psycho is reeling. Standing drop kick. Oh, backwards over the top rope. He landed right on his feet.
He was lucky. Woo! Was he lucky to land on his feet? He could have just as easily landed on his head, and that would have been good night. I don't know if he's got any mental faculty up in his head, but I wonder what he's thinking right now.
Well, he found a staircase, and that led him directly back up onto the apron, and he's trying to get back in there. He must have poked Lanny with a finger or something.
2, 3.
We hear the referee counting. Well, he got up to 3.
Yeah, and I'm afraid that what he's doing is only going to raise more ire in
Landed on his feet once again.
Nearly canistered our producer sitting here, Nelson
almost had
Swagger.
Nelson on his feet. Nelson was heading for higher ground.
I've never seen Nelson move so quickly either.
Scoops up now, nice slam.
Oh, what a power slam.
Look out.
On his head.
There goes Leap.
This
Second
could be...
turnbuckle. He's going
to the top.
Bombs away.
Wow. Oh, dear.
He could have put him away right there.
He could have put one finger on him and pinned him then.
Chose not to.
He's going to do it again, I think. He's practicing.
There he goes.
Oh.
Turned down. This one is over to the showers. Well, he got that shoulder up
Picked him up again.
Oh, and Lanny pulled him up.
Lanny pulled him up. I told you, he's using him as a practice bag.
Slams him down once more. What's he going to do
this time? Something different. Watch it. He's telling him,
get out of the way,
Get out of the way. Wow!
Hooks the leg and the neck. Cradled it.
Fantastic demonstration of the ability of young Lanny Poffo.
Round of applause for leaping Lanny Poffo as the Psycho is still out to lunch. Let's get the official word.
The winner of this match, Leaping Lanny Poffo.
Was ahead 37-1 in points, but manages to get the fall anyway. Here's how he did it.
And look at Poffo. He's going to show us exactly what he can do when he chooses. This is a demonstration of his unique ability. Move out the way, referee. Up to the top, stand there, take his balance, boom! Right on the chest and ribs. Turn over in the cradle. There it is.
The Psycho will be seeking further psychiatric help after this one, and a backflip for good measure by a sensational individual here in the World Wrestling Federation, leaping Lanny Poffo. Another victory chalked up.
Are you looking to add Psycho Capone to your stable, Bobby?
No,
That's
he's
the
not in
question.
wrestling anymore.
He's not. That
No,
was
he's
it?
working at LaGuardia now. He's letting jumbo jets land on him. That's what he's doing now. You guys are sick.
I thought you were going to say he was a traffic controller.
No. The other Offie's doing that.
Offie's doing that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. How would your men stack up, your two behemoths that you have, the team that's unslammable, you say at times, the Big John Studd and King Kong Bundy? How would they fare against the current champions, the British Bulldogs?
Well, there'd be no match. You see,
What do you mean? Because they wouldn't sign the contract? You said there'd be no match.
Do I answer my own questions?
Go
or
ahead.
you?
Go ahead. You got it.
First of all, two good men will always beat two little men. Two good little men or two very good little men. Two big men will always win. Simple. Well, you're a big man. You know that. You've probably been pushing a lot of people around all your life.
We'll be right back after this.
This match is going to be joined in progress. You're aware of that.
I'm aware of that.
We're on.
Tremendous
Well, I gotta
matchup
do
coming up,
everything.
which, according to Bobby the Brain Heenan, is going to be joined in progress. Tiger Chung Lee, the big Korean master of the martial arts, taking on King Tonga. This should be most interesting. Power
Right,
against power, more or less.
And the winner gets a walk.
Gets a walk. We're going to cooking walk.
For Oriental food, right.
Let's go to ringside in the Boston Garden right now as we take a look at this matchup.
Turn around. I got to do everything.
Rather nicely, very, very snug, and
Looks like a pretzel, very pretzelish.
yes, he's got that. Is that the left or the right leg?
I don't know whose leg belongs to what there.
But I think the left leg, no, it's the right leg of Tonga is completely locked and he cannot move it.
Big Korean doing a number right now on King Tonga. I'm sure there isn't a whole lot of blood reaching that foot area right now.
No, his foot looks pretty white.
I can't foresee a guy like Tonga ever submitting.
No, I can't. And in fact, his tactics there were quite right. Get to the ropes and get out of that one. When in doubt, crawl out.
Well, there's no shame in that. I've crawled out a lot of times.
It's the right thing to do at an occasion like that. Tonga, I like his attitude towards wrestling. He's very, very serious. He puts his head down, he thinks, and then he gets stuck into his man. He used the ring very well there. That was a nice trick just to back off into that corner. He gave himself a little respite, but Lee's pressing away again at him.
Still going to work on that leg. Oh, look at Tiger Chung Lee now, putting the point of the toe right into the quadricep area.
He seems to be, his game plan seems to be to work on Tonga's legs, and yet by looking at Tonga's legs, they're so thick and strong looking, I wouldn't think that would do him much good. What do you think, Gorilla?
Well, it's not one of the weak, I don't know of any weak part on Tonga.
No.
Maybe his little finger on the left hand
Yes.
might be a weak point.
Maybe Lee knows something we don't know. Maybe Tonga is suffering with his legs.
Tried for that single leg pick again and got caught right in the middle of it.
He did get caught, didn't he? Tonga was waiting for him. Took him nicely in that sort of front standing grab up there, which, given the room, he could have turned him round into a suplex.
They're starting to unload now with the heavy artillery. And Tonga explodes with some heavy shots. Reverse knife edge, and look out. Oh, there's the drop kick that Alfred was talking about. Caught him right on the side of the head.
Fantastic drop kick. He gets that huge bolt right up in there. Look at this.
Atomic. Wow.
A reverse atomic drop.
Going to make a wish here. Big Korean, a wish he wasn't here.
That's about the only wish at the moment.
Step over toe hold. I haven't seen one of those in a long time.
No. That hold used to be the favorite of Terry Garvin's, that great Canadian wrestler. I've seen him use that very effectively.
Whatever happened to him, Alfred?
Terry Garvin, I don't know. He sort of went by
Sort
the
of
wayside.
faded into the woodwork,
yes, he
did he not?
Yes.
Yes.
maybe they'll trump him out again sometime.
What a
sooner or
nice
later.
guy, though, he was.
He was a
Well,
nice
we're
fella.
talking about him like he expired. He's still alive, I'm sure.
Well, I tell you how nice he was. He used to send his mother $2 a week. You know.
And now the tables have turned here, and it's King Tonga going to work on the left leg of Tiger Chung Lee with a whole lot of pressure. These guys are determined to cripple one another.
I think they are. And I think the thing here is that Tonga thought, well, if you can do that to my legs, I'm jolly well going to show you what I can do to yours.
Neither man has tried to pin his opponent as yet. They're just trying to maim each other.
Yeah, and a sort of a feeling out process in
Look at
the
this.
same time.
Tonga digging the knuckles right to the inner part of the collateral ligaments of the knee.
My gosh, whereabouts is that?
Those are the ligaments that run on the outside and inside of the knee. There's 8 of them that go around your knee, and they hold the whole knee socket joint right in place, as well as help to support the patella, which is a floating bone, the kneecap.
I've had trouble with those for a long, long time. All 8 of them, I think.
Oh, look at that
look
shot
at that,
right to the
face.
ear.
Ooh.
And Tonga, he's only getting more upset.
Yeah, he's
with each shot, he's getting madder. Oh, look out, bombs away, big headbutt.
Fantastic determination by Tonga. He decided to tough that one out. And he did very well, too.
Tiger Chung Lee did everything he possibly could to get Tonga mad, and now he's mad about it.
Yes. And once again, going for those legs.
Look at this, grapevining that left leg again.
That was a nice move by Tonga. He's determined. He thinks out what he wants to do, then he goes through with it.
I used to like to tickle a guy's foot from this position, drive him bananas.
I bet it would too.
Especially guys that couldn't take it. Look at nice maneuver as he drapes the leg over the neck.
This could be nasty.
It's not a pinning combination because he's got his own leg underneath the left shoulder, but wow. That'll straighten your voice out.
Yes.
Oh, and your nose.
Yeah, one to the jaw, one to the bridge of the nose. He's probably suffering with his sinuses right now.
Korean saying, I'm going to show you who's the master of these martial arts. Oh, what a chop. Ha! Reverse knife edge really found the mark as the big Korean is starting to take the upper hand in this match.
He is, and every one of the shots went to its mark, found its target, and he's really punishing Tonga now.
There's the first attempt for a cover. No, couldn't get him.
Wear him down a bit more, Lee seems to be thinking. Clamp this on, give myself a breather, and at the same time ride him.
Amazed that Tiger Chung Lee has not sought out some kind of Oriental partner, Alfred, and got in contention for this World Tag Team Championship.
Well, I understand nobody can stand him. They just can't be around him.
Not liked very well.
Not liked at all, no. He's a nasty piece of work, you know.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Certainly looks nasty.
Yes. If you can understand his unintelligible chatter, that would be some small miracle.
Well, I thought maybe somebody from his own homeland. Both men now exchanging blows. And Tonga seems to be getting madder with each shot. Oh, there's one right to the throat. That could almost be construed as a disqualification right there.
It could have been. You know something? Tonga toughed it out before. I'm surprised Lee had another go at him.
Oh, missed the clothesline. Oh, but a nice leapfrog. And there's the reverse karate thrust kick. Hooks the leg. I believe this one's over. Tonga really exploded on Tiger Chung Lee, who rolls right out of here. He knows when he's been beaten.
The winner of this match, King Tonga.
King Tonga exploding with that nice reverse thrust kick. He missed a nice clothesline here, but these guys are thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead at all times.
Absolutely.
Look at that. There he missed it. Here comes Tiger thinking he has the upper hand. Now watch this.
Right to the
Whammo.
jaw.
Oh, he knocked him right into the middle of next week. Hooks the leg for good measure. Down for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Chalking up another impressive victory here in the World Wrestling Federation. That man right there from the Isle of Tonga. What else? King Tonga.
Very impressive individual, is he not, Brain?
Well, he kicked the rice right out of that guy, didn't he?
Well, he sure did.
No, with the right management, he could go places.
Are you volunteering in your services?
No, I don't have time to tutor illiterates, but he could go places.
Illiterates? What makes you think he's an illiterate?
He's from the Isle of Tonga.
So what does that mean?
You know, the island is over 40 miles long and 3 feet wide. Did you know that? Yeah, their biggest product is dental floss.
You're too much, Bobby. You're just too much. I don't know how that you can take guys like Stud and Bundy and bring them to the level they're at right now with that kind of mentality.
Well, Stud and Bundy aren't as smart as Tonga. They're a lot smarter. That's what you're referring to, aren't you?
Definitely not. We're going to listen to a couple of smart guys right now as we go to Ken Resnick with a special interview with Jimmy Jack, Hoss Funk.
Don't confuse the host.
Never. Let's go now.
Thank you, Gorilla Monsoon. Gorilla, you've talked about it. Wrestling fans are talking about it. The list of challengers to the British Bulldogs goes on and on. Certainly one team very much in contention. Under the guidance of the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, none other than the Hart Foundation, Jim the Anvil Neihart, and Bret the Hitman Hart.
You better believe it, big, bad, rough, and tough, and definitely hard to bluff. But, you know, when I got into the WWF, I said, hey, it might take a year, it might take 6 months, it might take 5 years, but I'm going to build the most dominant force in professional wrestling. I've got adorable Adrian Adonis. Now it's the Hart Foundation, and now look who I've got now. Jimmy Jack Funk and big old Hoss Funk right over here, baby. One of the real living legends in professional wrestling.
Jimmy, I want to thank you for everything that you've done for us. I'd like to bring in the wildest and craziest of the Funk family.
Now,
I'd like to bring,
Hoss Funk, before you bring him in there, I think there's one point I'd like to have clarified. Rumors abound that your cousin Jimmy Jack Funk is the wildest, most uncontrollable Funk, but that he has been in an art of barroom brawls in West Texas. In fact, you were the man that had to get him out of jail to bring him here to the World Wrestling Federation.
That's our
True
business.
or not?
That's none of your business. Come on in, Jimmy Jack. You people take a look at the meanest of the Funk family. This is Jimmy Jack Funk.
We come to break some bones and hurt somebody and show them what real Texas men are like. Ain't that right, Hot? Ain't that right?
Jimmy Jack, just stay right here. This is fair warning to everybody. This is fair warning to the junkyard dog. The Funk family is back. This is fair warning to Valentine and Beefcake. This is fair warning to the world's champions, the Bulldogs, all of them. The Funk family is back, and we're closer than we've ever been before, and we're tougher than we've ever been before. We're meaner than we've ever been before, right, Jimmy Hart?
You better believe it.
For all of them.
Like we said, baby, the most dominant force in professional wrestling, the Hart Foundation, the Hitman, the Anvil, the Funk Brothers, and adorable Adrian Adonis.
Well, there is no doubt the Funk family certainly a force to be reckoned with here in the World Wrestling Federation. Stay with us.
We're back, wrestling fans, and get set for our Prime Time Extra, which undoubtedly will become a permanent part of Prime Time Wrestling. I hope a most interesting confrontation. The champions, the British Bulldogs, recently gaining their championship against the Hart Foundation, who is, in my opinion, of #1 challengers, maybe.
Well, there's so many tag teams in the World Wrestling Federation that I predicted Bulldogs will maybe hold the title till Thursday.
Let's go down to ringside right now for this exciting tag team matchup.
Gentlemen, this tag team match is scheduled for one fall. First, I'd like to introduce the manager, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Now introducing from Calgary, Alberta, weighing 240 pounds, Bret the Hitman Hart. His partner from Reno, Nevada, weighing 265 pounds, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Now introducing their opponents. With a combined weight of 489 pounds, the Dynamite Kid, Davey Boy Smith, the World Tag Team Champions, the British Bulldogs.
Standing ovation by this capacity crowd for the British Bulldogs, newly crowned World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, taking the belts in WrestleMania 2 away from Brutus Beefcake and Greg the Hammer Valentine.
I wasn't standing for that ovation.
You weren't standing. That was obvious. You were not standing. Yes.
Everybody's impressed with these Bulldogs. Every place you go, all over the world, everybody's impressed with these Bulldogs. They don't impress me. You know how to keep them flying around the air? You ground them.
You ground them.
Stone Bundy can ground them.
Valentine and Beefcake thought they could too, but it didn't work out that way, did it? Over the top goes Davey Boy. Whoa, catches a boot by the Hitman and stops him in midair. Atomic drop coming up, yes. Right in the Dynamite, and one loads with a headbutt. Tag made, not a legal tag, I might add. Dynamite was already in the ring.
Of course not. You're not going to see nothing legal out of these two pups.
Dynamite Kid, Davey Boy Smith, tremendous continuity as a successful tag team certainly needs. Oh, look at that.
You know why they've been together so long and worked so good together?
Oh, I'd like this.
Because nobody else would hang around with them. They deserve each other.
Well, it takes two tremendous individuals to form and become a tremendous tag team combination, and these two have done that. The two powerhouses of the team are in there now. Nice block of this slam by Davey Boy, and he hoists up the angle. Neidhart hoisted up in the air to his chagrin by the power of Davey Boy Smith. Wow. Neidhart explodes now on Dynamite.
You know what a feather this would be in the cap? It's going to be hard if they could pull off a victory over these two.
Well, this is a non-title matchup, but that certainly would plummet their rating.
Well, the championship committee would have to look at that. Everybody wants these Bulldogs.
Look out. Oh, set up beautifully. Referee's got to get one guy out of there.
I think the Bull Mutts have had it tonight.
Don't ever sell the champion short, Bobby. You don't become champion by accident.
Englishmen.
What's their nationality got to do with it?
They never won nothing in their lives.
They are the current reigning World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions.
It took two to beat one man. You saw the film.
You saw the film. I was at ringside. I called it. I saw it.
Yes, but you're biased.
It was fair and square right in the center. 1, 2, 3. The Hitman now unloading on Dynamite. Wow, what an uppercut. Probably the most robust individual in the past year here in the World Wrestling Federation as far as his ability. That man right there, the Hitman. Passing the crowd on hand, as we stated earlier. Whenever the World Wrestling Federation decides to invade, it's the hottest ticket in town.
It's the only ticket in town.
Dynamite in a lot of trouble here as Bret Hart really doing a number on him. And the ecstatic mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, jumping up and down like a yo-yo.
He doesn't have a name. He just goes as the Dynamite Kid. He's a man. He's a man, isn't it? He's not 4 years old.
That's his ring name, the Dynamite Kid.
He's not 4 years old. He's not a kid. He's a man. He's called the Dynamite Punk.
Look out, Hitman on the second turnbuckle, nobody home. Quick tag and a tag is made. And Davey Boy steps in. Look out, Bret in for the ride. Big Dynamite, holy mackerel. And he nails the anvil, who wasn't really paying attention. Power slam perhaps coming up. Yes, he nailed him with it. Down for the cover, it's all over. No. The anvil intercedes, and Dynamite right there to meet him. Referee having one heck of a time controlling this one. Watch out. Double team effort. Oh, the referee saw him. Referee determined.
What is he doing?
Referee's calling for the bell. Referee's lost control of this match for sure. What is this? What's going on here? Oh, no, there it is.
Oh, no.
For what? Well, the referee turned around and out of the peripheral vision of his eye, saw the double team effort going on inside the ring. And look at the Hart Foundation. They are really bent out of shape.
Boy, it's been put to Jimmy Hart.
Let's get the official word.
The winners of the match, the British Bulldogs.
On a disqualification, that team victorious, Dynamite Kid, Davey Boy Smith, and the Hart Foundation is really hard-pressed. They've got the referee trapped. Let's go back and take a look at if, in fact, the referee did see it. Here it comes, right here. Well, we're only going to see the end, but I'm sure I saw the referee turn around and see the double team action that was going on.
I don't know what they were so upset about, Bobby. They broke the rules. They got caught at it. They became disqualified. Why were they so vehement about the decision?
Well, you don't mind getting caught doing something. It's when the other team does it too and provokes you and nothing is said to them. The Bulldogs should have been stripped of their titles, should have been handed over to Stud and Bundy.
For what?
I don't care about Neidhart and Hart. I'm talking about Stud and Bundy. They should have given the title to them. We'll take it any way we can get it.
Yeah, that's obvious. But unfortunately, you have to get in the ring and you have to beat the Dynamite Kid and Davey Boy Smith. Nobody's going to hand you anything here in the World Wrestling Federation.
I know. I had to fight like heck to become host of this show.
Well, you haven't achieved that as yet.
Manager of the Year, host of Prime Time.
Are you saying that Jesse the Body is relinquishing his
Jesse's
host
away
position?
on business. Jesse's away making a movie. But I'm host now.
We'll be right back with some more exciting wrestling right after this. We're back, wrestling fans. Bobby, as you remember, last week here on Prime Time, we saw the perfect match game from down under in Australia, featuring some beauties.
Yes, the Australian Canine Clinic. I remember that.
Well, this week, TNT decided they'd put together their own piece with 3 eligible bachelors here in the World Wrestling Federation: Bret the Hitman, the Anvil, and your friend. Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. We're going to take a look and see just exactly their version.
Here, the winner gets a date and the loser gets 2 dates.
Of the mating game. Let's go to the tape.
Young lovers, wherever you are, welcome to the mating game, the only game show that offers love as the grand prize. And now, here's your host, Vince McMahon.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, every day is Valentine's Day here on the mating game, so let's get started and see what Cupid has in store for us tonight. We've got 3 very special bachelors who will be competing for the affection and attention of a lovely young lady who's hoping to find that perfect mate. In order to find that special someone, she'll ask our contestants, I'm sure, a wide and perhaps wild variety of personal questions. She'll then choose her man, and our fun mating game couple will go on a dream date that we'll tell you about a little bit later on. But we will tell you this now, if our couple will return after their date and fill us in on all of the gory details, then they'll split a prize of $10,000. It's our special kiss and tell bonus. Right now, our young lady is waiting backstage in a soundproof room, and we're going to let you and our studio audience here meet our bachelors. Bachelor number 1 hails from Dixie. His name is Jimmy Hart, and his nickname is Mouth of the South. Jimmy's field is sports management, and when he's not at ringside, he likes to listen to rock music, make his own clothes. It's also rumored, by the way, that Jim is has one of the world's largest collections of hush puppies just this side of the Philippines, as well as a pair of fire engine red bikini briefs, one for every month of the year. Just recently, his sunglasses were nominated for Shades of the Year honors. Would you please welcome Jimmy, Mouth of the South Hart. Something on you, did you?
No, I didn't.
All right, now let's move over and meet, if you would please, bachelor number 2. Bret Hart is a professional athlete of national repute. Bret's idea of a good time is a taffy pull. He also holds the record for writing the most unpublishable letters to the Playboy Advisor column. And among Bret's many colorful hobbies are watching miniature golf, checking his mail, and tying his shoes. Would you please welcome Mr. Bret Hart? Have a seat if you would, Mr. Hart. Hair looks great. All right, we're now ready to meet our third and final bachelor, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. The Anvil is so named because of his physical dexterity, which allows him to move just like one. And at one time, he had a career in the world of football, but he was forced to give it up because of the record number of unnecessary roughness penalties he was called for. Anvil enjoys rump roast, AM radio, and bright colors. And his pet peeve is reading books with more words than pictures. Would you please welcome Jim the Anvil Neidhart? Well, there you have them. Ladies and gentlemen, our three special bachelors, one of whom is going to be lucky enough to win a dream date with the wonderful lady we're about to meet. So let's all give her a warm mating game welcome to Phoebe Zimmerman. Hi, goodness. Welcome, Phoebe.
Oh, thank you, Clint. I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait to get started to meet the guys.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, all right, Phoebe. Before you start with the questions, I'm going to let each one of the bachelors say hello from his seat. Could we hear, please, from Bachelor number one?
Hello, dollface. Oh, I like that.
All right. Perhaps we could also hear from Bachelor number two. Are you there?
Yes. Hello, Phoebe. Who loves you, baby?
Ooh, what a tiger. Grrr.
And Bachelor number three. Could we hear from you, please?
Hello, my child.
I think I'm in love this time.
You really do, huh? All right, Phoebe. I know you're probably impressed by all three of the bachelors, actually, but you can only pick one. So start making up your mind by firing away with questions, if you would, please. And remember, this is a family show, so go ahead.
I'm so excited. Okay. Bachelor number one. How do you know when it's the right time to kiss a girl for the first time?
Well, you see, there's certain parts of your body, man, that send off that signal. And then, man, my feet start moving, my legs start grooving, and then my old lips, they start crooning the words that every girl wants to hear, man. That's when I know it's the right time.
All right. Bachelor number two. I know how long you can last in the ring, but how long can you last in the bedroom?
Well, let me put it this way. I can last in the ring for at least a couple of hours. But at nighttime, I could pretty well say from my past experiences that I could go all night long.
Oh, yeah. Number three. If I was to see fireworks while I was making love to you, would I more than likely think of a Roman candle, a sparkler, or a wet fuse?
Well, let's put it this way. Are you familiar with the nuclear crisis in Russia with a deep, burning desire that leads to a maximum climax, an explosion?
Okay. Back to you, number two. Do you consider yourself to be more of an arm wrestler, a leg wrestler, or a tongue wrestler?
Well, I can wrestle with my arms, and I can wrestle with my legs. But since I'm from a very cold climate in Calgary with the mountains, my nose used to always run, I could always lick my nose. I got a lot of practice, and by the time I grew up, I could lick my eyebrows. So I'd say I'm a tongue wrestler in all facets of that category.
Yummy.
Yummy?
Okay, Bachelor number one. What is your idea of foreplay that can't fail?
Well, first of all, man, this never fails. I'd like to take you over to my apartment, turn the lights way down low, take out some baby oil, man, and oil up my megaphone and stick it right in your ear and sing the most beautiful love songs you've ever heard in your life. You know, that always works for me, man.
Suppose that we were in Alaska on our first date, and we were stranded in a snowstorm. What would you do to keep me warm, number 3?
What does the anvil do to keep a young woman warm in a desolate, cold, freezing igloo-type area? many things, but since this is a family show, I won't get too intricate, but it wouldn't be nice.
Let's go back to number 1 again. Why would I want to make love to you more than the other bachelors?
Well, I think bachelor number 3 just came down with a case of TB. I think that's called twin bellies. And the guy over here, number 2, he's got used to this greasy kid stuff. Me, hey, baby, the Don Juan of professional wrestling, Jimmy Hart.
Don Juan, huh?
Number 2. If I was a lovesick girl and you were Dr. Feelgood, what would be your cure?
Well, you see, what you're dealing with here is I'm known as the greatest technician in professional wrestling. And what I would do if I was going to make a poor little girl like you feel better is I'd slap a sleeper hold on you, put you to sleep, and throw you over my shoulder, a fireman's carry. Then I'd run you up to my room and I'd ravage your body.
I beg your pardon?
I'd ravage your body.
Finally, number 3. How do you make the earth move without the help of a bulldozer?
You're getting real tricky with these questions. Once the women in America see the anvil, things start moving, pictures start flying off the wall. All kinds of things are happening. Romantic things.
Well, in any event, Phoebe, why don't you have a seat right here? And while Phoebe is trying to decide which lucky bachelor is going to win the mating game, let's pause for some important message, after which we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Unusual to say the least, Bobby.
She seems like she's kind of bored.
Well, some unorthodox questions there, wouldn't you say? The laugh is just unbelievable from the anvil. Stay with us, wrestling fans. We're going to be right back with the conclusion of the mating game in a moment. Bobby, I can't believe the mouth of the South always saying how close he is to his men. The minute a pretty girl steps into the picture, he knocked their brains out, both of them. Said one was a fat slob and that the other one needed some work done on his hair.
Ah, he was just kidding, probably.
Just kidding. Let's go back to the conclusion of this mating game, see what happens.
Welcome back to the mating game. While we were away, Phoebe was making the tough decision about which one of our wonderful bachelors she's going to go out with. We know she'd probably like to tackle all 3 of them, but we do have our rules, and we're going to give Phoebe a little more time while we tell you what the dream date will be. Are you ready for this? What a great time you're going to have with Mr. Right. I mean, I truly believe this is the best date we've ever arranged here on the mating game. First of all, you'll find yourselves aboard a shiny bus bound for beautiful 3 Mile Island, Pennsylvania. A grand place to visit any time of the year, but maybe even more so this time of the year. Once there, you'll be greeted by island residents in native attire. And you'll enjoy a cookout in the backyard of Mr. and Mrs. George Chitwhistle, who will be out of town for the weekend. But wait, Phoebe, that's not all. We've spared no expense in putting together this spectacular marathon of love. After the fabulous barbecue, you'll be able to walk down to the tri-state bowling lanes where you and your date will serve as honorary pin setters for the Keystone State Duck Pin semifinals. And of course, after that, you'll probably want to towel off with a little of our special, musk-scented towelettes. Then it's time to kick up your heels at the Shriner Dance in Bakesale, taking place at the UAW Lounge on routes 35 and 178. Next, you'll enjoy a late evening snack and nightcap at the Mr. Quaker Convenience Store. where each of you will be given a roll of quarters so that you can eat to your heart's desire. And while there, you'll be able to rent a Viewmaster to look at exciting slides of all the state parks. And finally, it'll be time for Betty Bye and those special moments in the boudoir, Phoebe. Yours will be the quaint and comfortable Ben Franklin Motor Lodge. And your dates will be the, well, right across the interstate and the secluded Mad Anthony Wayne Comfort Inn. And remember, if you come back and tell us all the sordid romantic details, you'll both split the grand prize of $10,000. There you have it. Park fairy tale, park fantasy, all in the name of love. All right, Phoebe, time is up. Tell us who is the lucky guy. Is it bachelor number 1, bachelor number 2, or bachelor number 3? Remember, you can only choose one.
One? You've got to be kidding. I'm not going to go out with those morons.
What? Hey. Wait, you're not going to go out with any of them at all?
I'm getting out of here. Color me gone.
Hey, man, let her go, Vince. Let her go. What a real bow wow. What a real dog she is, man.
Send a mother back dog shit. She was good enough for the start.
That's right, man.
She
We're the
wasn't
Hart
good enough.
Foundation. Nobody turns us down. Nobody turns us down.
Done 3 studs like this.
That's right, baby. Jimmy. Come on, who cares about
Forget her,
what a
forget
dog
her.
she was. What a dog, man.
Wait a minute. Just sit down, if you would, please, because...
No second chance.
Gentlemen, we do apologize for this, but, well, nothing like this has ever happened in the entire history of the mating game. Phoebe is out. She's disqualified for being, I think, a poor sport.
Stupid.
Well, whatever you think. However, she loses out on her chance to split $10,000 with one of these bachelors. However, fortunately, our wise producers have always had a contingency plan for almost any crisis, and especially such a disaster we've just screened. So we have thousands of girls who really wanted to be the bachelorette. And as a backup, we have a special backup date, and one of them is standing by backstage. He has been patiently waiting in the wings and listening to the responses, I'm sure, of our 3 super bachelors. So you'll be able to make hopefully she'll be able to make, as well as you'll be able to make a wise choice among the 3, and, well, we'll have a substitute for the very ill-mannered and ill-tempered Phoebe. So please, everyone, won't you give a warm welcome to our substitute, Miss Yolanda Jones. All right. First, Yolanda, have you heard the answers given by our 3 bachelors?
You bet your buns I have, hon. They were all wonderful, but I can't wait to get my hands on bachelor number 3.
Bachelor number 3 is Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Anvil, come on out and meet Yolanda. Hey. Wait a minute. You're not going anywhere now. Let me remind you that you have signed a contract, all 3 of you did, and when you met your bachelorette, it clearly states that you must go out on the aforementioned date once you have met the lady in question. So therefore, it is now official. It is an obligation, and isn't she lovely?
Yeah, Junior, what's that on her face?
Tough break, Campbell. The best man won, though, baby.
You earned it. Yeah, this is real cute. I'm laughing my guts out.
Anvil, Neidhart, 3 Mile, and this is a dream come true, Vince. No kidding.
He's a nightmare.
I'll give you all the $10,000 if you'll go out with me. All the money will be yours, big guy.
Pretty good now, Jim.
You're going to give him all of the... That is something on her face.
And I'll have this burned off.
That's a nice bit of hair. You have hair on it. It's kind of...
yeah, but
$10,000. You get all of the $10,000.
Well, Jimmy, I know the foundation can use it.
She looks like Morgan Fairchild.
3 ways, baby. Come on,
What do you
baby.
think, huh?
Come on.
Huh?
Okay.
All right. Is it love grand? That's what makes this show so special. The love that just happens on the spot. And I know both of you just can't wait to get aboard the Love Bus. Bound for that date to end all dates, you'll both be up all night writing in your diaries after that special night. And Anvil, did you ever believe in your wildest dreams that this romantic event would really happen? Don't try to talk now. It's all right if you're too choked up to speak. I'm getting a little misty-eyed myself. This is Love with a capital L, Yolanda. Anvil, you're beautiful. There you have it, romance lovers. Another perfect match on the mating game. Until next time, this is Vince McMahon, hoping that Cupid pays you a visit real soon.
I love it. I can't wait for the finale of that.
Well, can you imagine them on their honeymoon? You see how nervous
It's not a wedding.
No, but could you imagine if it comes to this? How nervous Neidhart would be? He'll probably put his pants to bed and hang over a chair all night.
I would. You know what I would love to have seen up there, Bobby? You and Stud and Bundy. And
no
you
way.
The winner. And
hey,
you the
I
winner.
don't need to get a date like that. I do that and it happens.
$10,000 is a little.
Yeah, but I don't need that.
Hard to turn down.
Yeah, but I have to. $10,000 wouldn't even cover the shots. No thanks, pal. I'll get my own ladies.
Tremendous piece of programming on TNT. Why me? I'm a married man. I'm not an eligible bachelor.
Well, regardless of that, 10,000 pounds of bananas, I bet you'd do it. What are gorillas like?
Gorillas like bananas, but 10,000 pounds or 20,000 pounds wouldn't have been enough. Stay with us, wrestling
Send us out
fans.
a dog.
Main event coming up next. We'll be right back after
I'll
this.
get you something. Wait.
We're back, wrestling fans, and it's time for our primetime feature in which your man who claims not to be able to be slammed, Big John Studd, taking on
Yolanda Arcidi.
No, it's not Yolanda Arcidi. Ted Arcidi, world's strongest human being.
Well, let's see. Let's just see how strong he is. You know, there's a big difference laying out in a gym and lifting up 700 pounds on barbells than picking up a human being that doesn't want to be picked up.
That's obviously true. Let's go to the Boston Garden right now and see if, in fact, Big John Studd can hold it up.
This match is one fall with a 40.
Come on up here, Arcidi. We're going to see who's strong now.
This match is one fall with a 45-minute time limit. First from Los Angeles, California, weighing 365 pounds, Big John Studd. His opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing 291 pounds, the strongest man in the world, Ted Arcidi.
Tremendous ovation in the Boston Garden here for their hometown boy, world's strongest man, Ted Arcidi. What a powerhouse he is. Gorilla Monsoon here at ringside with Lord Alfred Hayes, and Beantown is about to erupt.
I think so. He is the world's strongest man, and looking at him, who could deny him that anyway? Just look at this fellow.
He impresses me more than Victor Mature did in Samson and Delilah.
Yes, definitely. Victor Mature would be a wimp by the side of him. But let me tell you this. I watched the WrestleMania 2, and I saw John Studd pick up the refrigerator as if he were just a cardboard box.
Well, the refrigerator definitely is not Mr. Ted Arcidi.
No, he's not.
I'll tell you, the refrigerator stayed in there a lot longer than I thought he would.
Yes, and he was out of puff, though, and I don't think he was doing damage to anybody, so they ignored him, I think, until John Studd decided to pick him up and just cast him out.
Ted Arcidi, big match in his career right here. And in fact, for Big John Studd as well.
Yes, and I understand that Arcidi actually asked for this match in his own hometown, so he must have a lot of confidence in himself.
Giving away a lot of height, but certainly not giving away any power.
Giving away 100 pounds as well, Gorilla. And that's a lot of weight to give away.
Third man in the ring, best stay out of the way.
Really. John Studd with a lot of experience behind him as well. A record that is most enviable. traveled the world. He was in Vienna, Austria a little while ago, wrestled a German champion there and absolutely destroyed him.
He did.
Yes, he did.
Well, he'll never be asked to come back there again.
He doesn't think so.
$15,000 at stake here if Ted Arcidi should be able to pick up the big guy and slam him down to the canvas. I wonder if it's 15,000 for each time. You know,
Like
you
a
could
double
slam
your
a guy
money
3 or
type
4
thing.
times.
Wow. Yes. Yeah, you could build yourself a nice little IRA,
Nice block.
couldn't you?
Yes. Big right hand drives Big John Studd, makes him take 3 steps backwards.
And that doesn't happen often either.
Arcidi certainly does not lack confidence, Alfred.
No, he doesn't, does he?
He oozes of confidence. It's just oozing out of his body.
Yeah. John Studd saying, if you can get up there, grab it. Look at the size of Studd's hand.
Studd is setting him up here, Alfred.
I think he is.
Gonna sucker him into something. Uh-oh. Studd didn't like it.
I think I'm going to go along with your appraisal of this situation. I think Studd is definitely setting him up.
Complaining that he's got a lot of oil on his body.
There he goes again.
Arcidi does not have a lot of oil on, although some wrestlers do come out with quite a bit on. They look like they're going to swim the channel instead of wrestling.
Yes.
Studd still not happy with the situation.
No. And Arcidi is becoming a little bit more careless each time. He might be walking into that trap. He seems to be throwing caution to the wind here.
Oh, you can't lose your cool. You lose your cool, you usually end up losing the match.
Yes, that's a mistake with John Studd. He's got a tremendous amount of experience.
Well, we finally get a finger grip lockup. And now both hands. The irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
Absolutely. Look at that 6'10" there. He's trying to use every inch of it to pick up the leverage and balance to overpower Arcidi.
Studd seems to be getting the upper hand with that height advantage. He certainly did. Dropped Arcidi down to his knees. But Arcidi fighting back right now.
And he certainly has this Boston Garden crowd behind him.
They're cheering on the hometown favorite.
My goodness, that is a feat there in itself. He's on both feet.
Oh, now it's Arcidi with a downward pressure and Big John Studd. Oh, he was about to go down. Instead, a well-placed knee drives Arcidi back down to the canvas once more.
And I think Studd's had that at the back of his mind all the time. He looks confident. He knew he had that little ace up his sleeve. See if he uses it again.
Arcidi's got that adrenaline flowing. Crowd here in the Boston Garden giving him everything he needs from their standpoint. Now it's up to you. And he's turned it over once more. But Studd very close to the ropes, so ring conscious at all times. And it's Studd who may go down. No, he blocked that knee and gave him one of his own. He's going for the shot. Big John Studd grabs a hold of the ropes immediately. Oh, knee right between the eyes. Well, he came close to 15,000, but he didn't get it.
He really did, and that's part of Studd's strategy. Use that tremendous distraction of $15,000 that nobody can resist and put that man into a place that is compromising. And now look what's happening, and Arcidi is certainly paying for it.
Studd unloading now with the heavy artillery, those heavy forearms taking their toll. Wow. Big John Studd coming close to parting with $15,000 right there. Yes, in the Boston Garden, 15,000 plus. Fortunate for him, he was close enough to grab that top rope, but this match a long way from being over, so don't go away. We're going to be back with the conclusion in just a moment. Can't believe, Bobby, you were not in attendance. A match of this magnitude, your man, with all that money at stake, you were nowhere to be found.
I'm always around. Don't ever worry about where I'm at. I handle a lot of business deals. A lot of things
saying
going.
You were there. He might have been. Let's go back to ringside for the conclusion.
If I were Studd, I don't think I'd be hitting him in the pectoral area. That's his strong point. And it's Arcidi with a big forearm shot. Uh-oh, the ringlets come down. And the crowd explodes here in the Boston Garden. But he hesitated for just a moment. And Studd is saying, go ahead, hit me. And Arcidi is obliging. Oh, Studd back in control once again. And he's taunting the big guy from Beantown, saying, come on, hit me. He doesn't know how to get the leverage behind those blows up.
No,
if he did.
If he did it, he'd have had Studd flat on his back and out. But Studd is pretty resilient anyway.
Three big right hands.
He's
And
laying
another
him
one.
out.
They're starting to take their toll. And Studd spins him around with a handful of hair. Oh, thumb right in the eye. Come on, referee.
Suddenly Studd was beginning to feel the power of those big forearms, and he decided it was better to do something about it than just taunt him.
Look out. Big Ted in for the ride. Wow, he hit right out of an angle. Oh, right into a clothesline. There's where he should have went for the slam right there.
Yes. An ineffective forearm.
Off the ropes, big elbow on the back of the neck of Big John Studd. Look out. Double axe handle.
He's better with that than using that forearm. He's got a lot more power there. Studd is down.
And another shot.
It is not often you see Studd all the way down like that.
Studd now with a slingshot in for the ride. Look out. Put his head down. Arcidi over backwards and right out of the ring.
Studd unceremoniously just finished him off there, pushed him out, and Arcidi, I'm afraid, fell on the back of his neck there, and he may have injured himself pretty badly.
Referee went right outside the ring to administer the count. Now he's coming back in. Arcidi's still not on his feet. Let's go back and take a look at that big field goal job as done here by Big John Studd. Look at the mistake. Arcidi head down.
Oh,
wow. Arcidi now back up on the apron. And John Studd waiting for him with open arms.
Yes, and he's saying there's plenty more where that come from. He's going to turn him around and beat his chest in now. Boom! Oh, he's saying to Arcidi, that's the way it's done.
Welcome to the real world.
Yes. Oh, welcome to the WWF.
Big John Studd doing a number right now on that man right there. The world's strongest man, Ted Arcidi. Got to mount some kind of offense here very shortly, or Studd's going to take him right out of the picture.
He really will, and Studd is a punishing wrestler, and he knows just how to make a rookie like Arcidi pay for his mistakes. Well, Arcidi challenged him in his hometown, and Studd is not slow to point out to his own home crowd, or Arcidi's home crowd here, the faults and the chinks in the armor.
I wonder just how good, how in condition Arcidi is, whether he's in real top-notch condition, because if you run out of gas out there with Big John, he'll put you away. Arcidi now with both legs, dragging Big John outside with him. And both men now on the floor here in the Boston Garden. Rams his head into the apron. Referee laying the count now on both men. Arcidi's got something left.
He has, look at him. My word, look at Arcidi.
Big right hands and John Studd begins to unload again.
Oh, those massive forearms. Look at Arcidi. That's amazing.
Referee's counter both men out of the ring. And now John's going to run him into the steel post. Yeah. Oh, no. Right at the last second, he got shot out. And Arcidi now ramming Big John Studd into the steel post.
Fortunately, John was able to cover that a little bit with his arm. Arcidi, inexperienced there, didn't put his arms down. Otherwise, he'd have done a lot more damage to Stud.
Looks like World War III going on here. And they don't want to stop. The bell is rung. This match is over, but they don't care. Oh, look at that. Went to the well one too many times. Big John Stud just shoved him off there.
I'm afraid you don't catch John Stud that easily.
Arcidi wants back inside the ring. I don't think he knows that the match is over.
No, I don't think he wants this match to be over. He wants to show his own people here how he can deal with Stud.
Arcidi appears to me to be out of gas, Alfred.
Yes, I think he was. He got that big boot to the upper chest that John gave him. What did you say? The big punt boot or something there? And
oh, the big field goal.
The big
yes,
field goal.
He kicked it about a 90-yarder.
Oh. And that took the sap out of Arcidi.
Stud's not coming back in. He's no dummy. Let's get the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has counted both men out of the ring. A double count out.
Well, we didn't really prove anything in this match other than Ted Arcidi could match strength with Big John Stud. Maybe the World Wrestling Federation matchup committee will see fit to make this a return match. Plenty of action, as always, here in the World Wrestling Federation. And that man really excited the crowd here in the Boston Garden. Don't go away. Plenty more action to come.
Well, the crowd right at the end of the match expressed my sentiments exactly. I don't think anything was proven in that match other than the fact that Ted Arcidi is a powerhouse and Big John Stud can take a lot of punishment.
There was something proven there. You didn't catch it probably.
Obviously went by me.
Yolanda Arcidi tried to slam him only once. And he hooked the trunks when he did it, and he never tried after that because he knew he couldn't do it.
Well, wrestling fans, that wraps up another week here on Prime Time Wrestling. Don't forget, as always, TNT every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, and, of course, on Sundays, All-American with Mean Gene Okerlund, 12 noon Eastern and 11 a.m.
And I'm sure you humanoids sitting at home will relish to the fact that you had the greatest host for prime time that you'll probably ever have or have had.
Take a good look at him, folks, because he may not be with us next week.
He may not be with you next week. All depends on how Jesse's doing.
I cannot guarantee
if
that.
Jesse would like me to be here, I'll be here.
Well,
if he doesn't want me here, I won't be here.
That remains
you
to be
have
seen,
nothing to say about it.
It is obvious that, as always, we bring you the best in professional wrestling here on Prime Time Wrestling, featuring the superstars of the World Wrestling Federation and the new and upcoming stars, of which we saw a great many of them this week, and I'm sure in the weeks and months to come, we'll see some more tremendous wrestling
And I don't like you referring to me all the time that I cheat.
Well,
I happen to know a lot about cheating. I've had 3 very successful marriages.
Give me a break, Bobby. Gorilla Monsoon for Bobby the Brain Heenan saying so long until next week.